Persona 5 is a game that was on my radar for a very long time. I planned on getting it at release, but that came and went, and I never played it. I had continuous praise for it for the past 2 years though, and I knew that eventually I should check it out. Fast forward 2 years to the summer of 2019 and I finally played it, and suffice it to say, it is definitely now one of my favourite games of all time, and I don't say that lightly. I was obsessed with this game like I hadn't been with any in years. I felt like a little kid again. I was just completely overwhelmed with infatuation for this game, and I was constantly looking forward to the next time I got to play it. But today I'm not here to talk about the game per se, I'm here to talk about the plot. One moment in the later portions of the game that blew me away with how well it was executed. If you haven't played Persona 5 yet and are concerned about story spoilers, don't watch this video and play Persona 5. If you think you'll like it, trust me, you absolutely will. When Persona 5 starts, you're partaking in a heist in some type of casino. You don't know where you are or exactly why you're there, but you're being chased by what seem to be the authorities. Joker makes a stylish exit from the casino after running and jumping around the place like a monkey, dodging baddies, I suppose, along the way. But the thing is, you haven't escaped. In fact, you're surrounded.
Didn't expect to find some kid. You have your teammate to thank for this. You were sold out.
Upon being captured, 3 main things are established for your brain to wonder about throughout the course of the game. You're the leader of the notorious Phantom Thieves, you are charged for manslaughter, and you were set up. Now, I know that if you haven't clicked off the video you probably know all of this, but it's important to establish all of this information so I can explain why one reveal was so great, the traitor reveal. Each of these 3 points are revealed one by one throughout the course of the game before the big punch of who the traitor is being revealed last. A lot of people argue that the identity of the traitor was predictable, and while I'm inclined to agree, there is something that I think people should keep in mind when they are able to correctly predict a plot twist. Would you rather a predictable twist that is satisfying and progresses the story in a meaningful way, or a twist that is unpredictable but severely damages the relevance and impact of all pre-existing storytelling? Although the traitor twist is predictable, it's very satisfying, and that's what I want to discuss in this video. The traitor teased at the beginning of the game is the ace detective, Goro Akechi. It was all a well-timed, expertly choreographed ploy for him to be the one that took the Phantom Thieves down, and in doing so, he secured himself a place of high respect within society. He is the culprit behind the mental shutdown cases rampant throughout the game, and he uses this opportunity of you being captive to kill you, thus dismantling the Phantom Thieves, allowing him to continue to murder without worry. Why is this all great? Because of how insanely well the pieces are placed for this reveal. For the whole game, Akechi feigns ignorance and directly opposes the Phantom Thieves. He believes that taking justice into your own hands is morally wrong, and that forcefully changing someone's entire personality to suit your own view of what is right is shameful. He is constantly a piece of gum stuck to your shoe, whether it be constantly weighing in on the Phantom Thieves' presence and frequent actions on the local news, or even just chatting to you on the subway to school. He is always there every step of the journey, and you always feel like, as long as he's on your tail, you have a serious chance of being outed with how accurate his predictions are throughout the game. Now, people like to argue that his intelligence is oversold, and for the most part I can see where people are coming from, especially on the local news segments. However, when it truly matters, he is written very convincingly with his intelligence. A good example of this is when the thieves initially try and enter Okumura's palace earlier in the game. A cutscene is shown of them doing the same thing you've seen them do 1,000 times, enter the metaverse, but this time Akechi is seen in the corner of the screen. For a while nothing comes of this moment, but then, when the Phantom Thieves are looking for information on Sei's palace later in the story, Makoto devises a plan to get information out of Akechi. During the ceremony of the festival, Akechi reveals that he knows the identity of the Phantom Thieves. Makoto invites him backstage to discuss this further, and he shows her the photographs taken of you entering the metaverse. He then explains that he was pulled into the metaverse with you at this time and has since had a persona awakening and even encountered the masked man committing the murders in the metaverse, but he managed to escape him and return to reality. This whole situation results in Akechi teaming up with the Phantom Thieves to take down Sei, under the condition that they retire after this final attempt to steal someone's heart. He pretends to have the same motivations as you. He thinks Sei has become too aggressive and reckless with the prosecutions, just like you. Throughout the game, Sei and Akechi are shown to disagree on screen multiple times with how to apprehend the Phantom Thieves and the Metaverse murder cases. One instance that stands out is when you walk in on Sei interrogating Sojiro and LeBlanc for information on Wakaba's research. She is visibly aggressive and even threatens to jeopardise Sojiro's custody over Futaba before leaving the cafe with no new information received. Later, Akechi and Sei are shown arguing over this event, Akechi declaring that she was far too manipulative and bloodthirsty and that she was bordering on being a morally corrupt prosecutor. Given the red herring of the pictures at the Okumura Palace site and the constant visible bickering between Sei and Akechi, you have a lot of reason to assume that his interests align with yours in a believable way. Now to discuss the reveal and the true nature of these two situations. Once Akechi's true intentions are laid bare, it becomes clear to you that the pictures were just taken in order for you to believe that he is ignorant to the metaverse and its inner workings, and that he figured out your identities through genuine detective work and not because he is the masked killer that you've been searching for. Those conversations with Sei weren't because he strongly believed in her being morally wrong, but so she would continue to believe that the justice system is stacked against her, resulting in her developing a palace so that, if need be, he could kill her without a trace. It becomes clear that he always knew your identities, but was just waiting for the right time to strike. He killed Okumura and framed the Phantom Thieves. Despite how predictable it was that he would be the traitor, as he's the only character in the Thieves that you can't spend time with, he's questionably proficient in combat, and it would have been hard to buy anyone in the core group being a traitor besides him, given the way most are introduced and inducted into the Phantom Thieves. That doesn't matter. Akechi being the traitor is set up incredibly well, and it furthers the story in a meaningful way. This plot twist results in the cloth covering the true villains to finally be torn away, and it logically increases the stakes of the story for the final arc. What I want the main takeaway point of this video to be is what I stated earlier. Would you rather a plot twist be predictable but satisfying in execution, or unpredictable and damaging to all information previously supplied to you?